It's a myth that grief happens in orderly stages, with one stage following another. In grief, there's no linear timeline that a person passes through from start to finish. The reality of grief is much more complex. There isn't a single roadmap that all grievers follow. Grief is a highly personal and often chaotic process that doesn't follow orderly rules. Grieving people may even feel conflicting emotions, such as happiness and sadness, or anger and forgiveness, all at the same time. Elisabeth Kübler-Ross was a Swiss-American psychiatrist and a pioneer in near-death studies. In 1969, her book titled On Death and Dying was published, which included her theory about the 5 stages of grief. These stages are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Kübler-Ross was clear in her book that these 5 stages were meant to apply only to terminally ill patients coming to terms with their own impending death. However, over time, these 5 stages of grief have become more generalized and are often now widely applied not just to a person who is grieving the impending loss of their own life, but to a person grieving the loss of a loved one. It's extremely likely that you will pass through some or even all of these 5 stages of grief. However, you won't do it in a specific order, and you'll experience many other grief stages as well. Other grief models include these additional grieving stages: shock and numbness, loss of orientation, disorganization and despair, guilt and remorse, social withdrawal and loneliness, processing and reflection, yearning, searching and testing, hope, reconstruction and recovery, restoration. Because every person's grief process is different, you may experience all of these stages or only some of them. Some stages you may work through more quickly, while others you may carry for quite some time. You may even feel that you've worked through a particular grief stage, only to circle back to it again. Because grief is not linear, the stages won't happen in an orderly manner, one after the other. In fact, it's common in widowhood to experience several stages of grief all at once. Is it possible in grief to experience anger, guilt, loneliness, and hope all at the same time? Yes, it is. In grief, your emotions and experiences are not mutually exclusive. You're processing many things simultaneously, and all at different speeds. You can and will carry all of them with you all at the same time. You're not doing it wrong. No one grieves the same way, and there's no right way to experience your emotions. However you do it, it's okay, and it's important to allow yourself to feel what you feel. Experiencing the pain of your loss is a necessary part of grieving, because it's through grief and mourning that we begin to heal. Grief is a process. Remember that there's no right or wrong way to do it. There are no right or wrong emotions to feel, and there's no set timeline for it. Give yourself the time you need, and be gentle and compassionate with yourself.